Turn it around.
Let's go find out one of these.
Yeah, suddenly.
Let me just apologize for you having to wait, but I did have a meeting with another senator here just before, just at the time you were waiting out there. I'm certainly happy that we. And if I had known you were out there, I didn't know it. We could have shortened our meeting. And on top of all that, we're happy that you're ready to come. And I have a good idea as to why you're here. Go right ahead.
I was just saying we came as a group to voice our opposition to the incinerator, Senate Bill 324, and we would like our legislature to try to do something to change this process that we're all mandated to create this monstrosity between now and the end of next year. And most of us are from Granville County. So we're all
within a few miles of the site.
Within a few miles of the site and have children and understanding of it's not the case that it's going to have statewide in terms of airborne heavy metals, and toxins, and dumping into the Tar River. The site's within a mile and a half of the lakes.
Lake Maykeeper 1.
Lake Rogers and Creedmoor.
Your constituents in Durham County, have you gotten any feedback from how they feel about being close to this?
Well, I've gotten feedback from all areas surrounding there, yes, including Durham County. And there's strong opposition.
It's going to be trucked right through your town, you know.
Well, my town is Oxford.
Oxford.
Let me say that simply because Oxford is where I grew up. Oxford is where I went to school.
You know Providence.
I know Providence, but I know Belltown. I know Belltown better. Now let me tell you why I know Belltown better, because when I was courting, I used to go with a young lady out there years when I was in high school, and I used to walk out to Belltown.
That's where it is. Yeah.
I understand that's exactly where it is. So I know I have a very, very good familiarity with what we are talking about here, and I have on top of that, a very, very strong opposition to what they're proposing to do to our county. Although Granville County is a part of my senatorial district, to me it's much, much more than that. Because it's where I was born, it's where I grew up, I went to school there, I went back to teach school there for 7 or 8 years. And of course I go over there now as often, we still have our home place in Granville County. And I go over there now for whatever purposes as often as I can to get over there just to get back home. So there's a great deal of concern that I would have, notwithstanding my legislative involvement from a personal standpoint of view and an historical standpoint of view, I would also be involved. And I'm with you, I want you to understand on this issue and your position, at least 100%. There's no question. There's no question about that. Now, as representatives of the church, we had breakfast this morning over at the governor's mansion, and at that breakfast he told me that there would be a group coming. Did y'all come over on the bus or car? Yeah, well, he told me there would be some people coming over on buses this morning, and I wanted to make sure that I would make myself available to meet with him. But he didn't tell me where you would be meeting. But I'm so happy that you're making around and were able to get here, and I was able to be with you.
Did you get to vote on SB 324? Did you get to vote on that Senate Bill 324?
If it had been voted on, I did. Now, we had a couple of thousand bills.
Yeah.
And when you say SB 324,
well, that was the one that appointed the Waste Hazardous Commission, and they were mandated to put that site somewhere in North Carolina.
Yeah, and you guys approved it, basically. Not you personally.
I understand.
And we're curious as to, basically curious as to why the legislators sold the people of the state of North Carolina down the river on this, because it's obviously there's enough track record of hazardous waste disposal accidents and calamities and Superfund with all the cleanups that it's trying to do and everything to be visible to the people voting on it. They would know the potential hazards. Okay. And we're curious as to why there wasn't some sort of public forum on it, or maybe even some just outright, no, we won't do it. We've got to come up with better solutions. Let's put the scientists back to work and come up with something besides incineration. You can't even burn trash in your backyard in Raleigh. Or
you want to get work.
And if you can't burn just regular Tony Tiger cornflake cartons, why would you want to be burning polychlorinated biphenyl? or selenium, or
chromium,
toluene,
Or lead.
you know,
Or
any of those
compounds
things, you
that we
know.
don't even know exist.
and another
may not
form of
exist
That's the
legislation.
thing that baffles me
That's
is
what I mean.
why would people consciously agree to do something that severe? And you said there was 1,000 bills or so. 999 of them might deal with traffic fine cost or maybe how big to make the curb on the side of the road and those kind of things. When you're talking about polluting the whole populace of North Carolina, that seems like that would be one bill that would stand out in your mind and there would be some action, you know, or it would be a little bit more prominent than the other bills.
Well, as you have articulated there, you know, bills would have their prominence and priority. But I was speaking in terms of the number. We cannot just relate to Senate Bill 105 as an example.
Right.
And recall what that bill,
Right, I understand.
Well,
what that-
remember
what that
bill
bill-
number 324.
Right, because that's a real point.
And
That
another
got us into this.
legislation.
And look
Right.
forward to voting on bill number 952,
Right.
the waste reduction bill,
Exactly.
aimed at giving corporations incentive to reduce their own waste at the source.
I
We
think-
will send you
but I think
material.
most people see if you give industry easy out, they can just put, they don't have to take care of the waste themselves. They can take it up to Gravel County and burn it. They're gonna have,
They're gonna
they
do
wanna make more, produce more. We need to
Massachusetts.
emphasize site reduction. We're not only saying we don't want it in Gravel County, we don't want it, incineration is not a reasonable process.
They're
in
doing
that
away
place.
with them in other places. For
Right,
instance, in
Massachusetts.
Illinois, Massachusetts,
Yeah,
they
they're
have
shutting
done away
them
with them
down.
because they
Georgia's already passed
yes,
legislation
because they cause so much harm.
for waste
No one has
reduction.
been able to do it well.
You've heard
Now,
it,
let
and
me
there's no
ask you
reason
this
for us to
question,
believe that
because
they will here.
our system here is of a nature that bills are introduced, okay? Then they're sent off to a committee. And lots of times, if you're not on that committee, you're not familiar with it until it gets to the Senate floor.
Well,
Where are
They'll
the
send you
bills,
material.
I'm gonna ask, where are the bills now which you are interested?
952 has been introduced.
952.
Probably in committee now.
Probably in committee.
and how
we
is
don't
the
know.
public
We're not
going
in the
to
Senate.
know when
It's
these
Senate
bills
Bill
are?
952.
Yes,
sir.
Senate Bill 952, the waste reduction bill is the name of it.
And we want to know in advance when these things are coming up. We're concerned.
Yeah, we've all signed our names, addresses, and phone numbers, and we appreciate knowing when these things were gonna be voted on, so we can know, so we can ask you, to do the right thing, you know.
I understand, I understand.
You can't do your job if you don't have information from your constituency.
Yeah, that's basically how y'all get informed.
The
is through-
legislators read the bills before they vote on them. You know, in that Senate Bill 324, it says it is safe that you can have a daycare center within a quarter mile of that hazardous waste incinerator.
But national laws don't allow that.
That's
Yeah.
right. The federal government says there are no safe levels of lead for children. This thing's going to put out about 500,000 pounds of lead per year.
For you.
And the legislature says it's okay to put our children a quarter mile away from it.
Well, let me just say, the legislature perhaps passed a bill that said that.
Right.
But didn't anybody read it?
No, yeah. I don't mean the content of the bill. I'm speaking in terms of the research that, you see, we have research staffs here. Those staffs do the research for us
Right.
and bring back to us information that would, in some way or other, impact upon our ability to make a decision involving.
Well, evidently they haven't done enough
They're
research.
not doing their job. We're doing it for them. But we don't get it in time.
And you know, how we are able to come to various conclusions would be in so many instances, particularly when it gets to be a technical question, based upon information that comes back to us from our research staff. Now, if it's safe for, if there's been a statement that it's safe for a daycare center to be within the
What it says
distance,
in the bill, you can read it.
we have relied, that's not the language of a senator, as an example.
Right.
That's the language resulting from research that has been done.
Yeah.
To
Someone
justify.
didn't know about September '88 when they had to clear out 2.5 mile radius from Caldwell Center in Lenore. A 2.5 mile radius is a little bit more reasonable than a quarter of a mile, especially when you have history of evacuations that have encompassed that radius.
You see, that's why Granville
Like
County's
fire,
in trouble.
him,
If
whoever it
they
was.
said a daycare center couldn't be within 2.5 miles, of the incinerator. We got a daycare center a half mile from that site.
Well, you wouldn't be able to have one in Oxford, let's put it that way.
No,
There wouldn't be one in Oxford because Oxford is
That's right.
2.5 miles, exactly. I got one question. Do you know of any hazardous waste emergency facilities that Granville County has or that Durham County has that could handle a major fire at a 580-acre site of hazardous waste from
Well,
5
the answer
states?
to that question is absolutely no.
Well, in that case, if there's no provisions to handle an accident, all right, let's say for instance, we have a fire in one of these buildings here. Raleigh has a fire department. They have neat ladders and stuff and fancy hoses, and they can put the fire out. We don't have anything like that. We have absolutely no
Volunteer
way.
fire department.
We have absolutely no. We don't even have gas masks to go into the
I
thing
don't
with.
care
So
how much money
we're
they send.
unprepared to have something of this magnitude in our midst. I mean, it's not that we're not responsible and we want to take care of the problems, but we do, but we can't take care of a problem in a haphazard manner.
And
But I agree with you. We are in a car. I'm on your side.
Well, I'm giving you, I'm playing researcher for you. I'm giving you some information that you can use.
We're going to send you some of this information. I'm Dr. Marion Walter. And this young lady has done a lot of it. We are going to send
Well, I
you
read the
information.
bill.
Yes, and I've
Did
read,
you
well, I've
get
read
the
a lot of
whole
the
bill?
material.
Yeah.
About that. I used to doing
the
research.
site.
We will send you material. We want you to work on it.
Send me that material,
I tell you,
but
it's
if
hard.
it's any material that you're going to send in some manner to try to convince me with reference to Granville County,
No, but you can
we're
give it to
talking about
other
two
people.
questions. But the Granville County issue, I don't need any.
No.
I appreciate any
Yeah.
information you send me,
Incinerator
but I just don't.
Yeah.
But the
We
bigger
would like,
question is
we
the
would like you
information
to
you're
give it
talking
out to some of these other people
I
who
have
voted for it,
information
Sure.
on
like
the
Royal.
waste reduction also that I'd like to bring to you and give to you on an alternative so that you have
What other
something to
states have
present an
done.
alternative.
So
And it's a real good alternative.
We're hoping
and it's
that
a
if-
lot of information on it and a place you can plug in for more information.
about. I would welcome
This
such
also, I've circled on here, and I can't let this copy go, but I'll put you one. These are other bills that have been introduced that need attention also. One of them is on recycling, mandatory recycling, and I forget, there's one on Senate Bill 27, I can't remember what that one is, but I'm circling for you. Those need a lot of attention immediately, because they're up for a vote real soon. I don't know when, I haven't got that schedule yet.
Well, they might be up, excuse me, they might be up for a vote real soon. But you see, as I said, you take these bills, number one, Senate Bill 113 and Senate Bill 114. The vast majority of the people in the Senate are not familiar with them, simply because as John Doe introduces that bill, the reading clerk will read the number and the short title,
Right.
and the lieutenant governor will assign it to a committee.
And how can
And then one,
This is Senator Barker's office, and he slammed the door in the organization's face.
So I got one vote, and I can't get back in my office.
I don't have that key.
I'll tell you, I think a lot of them, both of them.
We gonna try to get them to do what we want.
I'm Mark Bassnight. I'm from Manio. You never heard of Manio?
Out of Bank, you've been fishing somewhere.
Right, yes, sir. Can't tell by his brook where he's from.
Y'all are very fortunate to have these two fellows. Very, very fortunate.
Well, we have you in here, we'd like for you to support any type, like a hazardous waste use
Well, these two
reduction.
fellows, you convinced them to and you got them. That's all you have to do.
We're gonna try.
It's not an issue, I guess, where I come from because the water table's so high. The one thing we didn't get was the waste, I guess, maybe.
Well, we've taken your hurricanes now.
You got my hurricanes now. Just wanted to say that for you.
Well, put it this way, we inherited Hurricane Paradise right through Richmond County,
Did it-
Montgomery County, Scotland.
Did that storm come in here?
Right, part of it did.
Yes, it did.
Hurricane Hazel took.
During the short session of the General Assembly in regards to the waste sites. We are concerned that with the fast track that everything has moved, with the fact that the work that Vasco has done, the work that Ken Nuclear is doing has not been adequate. And we'd like to know, one question I have is about what can be done during a short session in regards to the moratorium on citing the facilities. Is there anything that can be done about this?
I don't know that anything can be done about the moratorium, but I am committed to vote to withdraw from the compact, and I've been told that's not even going to be on the table. I will personally do whatever it takes to put a moratorium or what have you. I'm still 99% sure that facility is going to be located right here in Wake County, Wake-Chatham County line, and I'm not going to give in until that's the law. That's what I've been told.
Could you tell us, Senator, what makes you feel that way? You know, that
I've
might
been
give a
told
lot
by
of
people at
risk.
Carolina Power and Light Company in a very responsible position. I've been told by the Wake County legislators, mainly Senator Joe Johnson, who's chairman of the Joint Select Committee. He said, and also Representative John Carr from Goldsboro, that y'all got nothing to worry about. It's going to be located up here where it's generally. Plus the fact that the Joint Select Committee has instructed the authority that we wanted it located on one of the existing nuclear plant sites. And that's documented.
Well, why are they spending all this money when the state's in such bad shape?
Yeah.
Why are they putting
Bobby,
everybody
I
through all this?
personally went to Sherwood Smith, who is president of Carolina Power and Light Company, and asked them, I said, why can't you go ahead and volunteer for it and get it done now? He says,
Fall over the floor, rude to people, and that doesn't win friends. And we need all of these people, whether they're for us or against us, to listen to us and listen to our ideas. So, be. Thank you all very much for coming.
Start scripting.
It's almost lunchtime. Wait a minute. Look at the man.
Won't be any of this. There won't be any of this in this
Now I'm gonna tell you one other thing. Well, wait a minute.
That long, but I'm not sure I want it to be that long.
He's on his own now.
I don't blame you. We're gonna do this and then we're gonna celebrate.
Where you go? Where you going to celebrate? Go to Bermuda. Make him take you there.
Yeah, I think we should form a committee to decide when we defeat.
Not as relevant as everything else they say, I guess.